All right, the power of relationships continuing with Thrive. Uh, this is a training program for Nature Sunshine. Here goes.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Peterson and partnering with Nature Sunshine, excited to bring to you this session today on the power of relationships. Life is sales, and sales are simply relationships. Think of it in this way. If you have a child and you try to convince your child to go to bed on time or eat their vegetables, that's a sales process. If you're dating or getting engaged, that's a sales process. Getting people to listen to your Nature Sunshine products or presentation, that is a sales process. Life is sales, and sales are simply relationships. No matter what you studied in school and whether you graduated from high school or went on to college or whatever various degrees or studies, every single one of you are in the people business. No matter what you sell or what you're involved with, we're all in the people business. You may have thought, or you're currently a school teacher or a physician or obviously an entrepreneur, or maybe you thought you were going to be a basketball player, or perhaps you thought you were going to be on the nightly news. Whatever job you thought you were going to create or you're currently in, they all have one thing in common. You are always and will continue to be in the people business. So when we think about this of how do I grow my Nature Sunshine business, how do I expand it, how do I grow it? Yes, I'd like to increase it. I'd like to make more money. How do I do so? Well, it will definitely be found in the power of your relationships and the quality of those relationship skills. So let's look at a few things together. Number one, I want you to write for me in your notes, I am a solutions provider. Many of you, I assume, don't love the word sales. I know I don't, right? Is that I don't want to be labeled as a salesperson or I'm in sales, but you are a solutions provider, right? It's showing up to serve, adding value to people's lives. And as you do so, that is how we create income and we create team members is, again, you're in the people business. But I've just given you a new title. I am a solutions provider. And people that provide solutions for other people can write their own paycheck on a regular basis. Number two, let's look at this concept of nourish your network. Years ago, when I was corporate employed, I had the great fortune to work for Robert Kiyosaki in his popular books, Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Okay, we're going to continue with this in just a moment. All right, back again.
Cash flow quadrant. I first learned from him the phrase, your network equals your net worth. See, some of you may have been thought the process may be part of your influences. Oh, are we the lowest price in products? Or are we this or are we that? Very rarely has to do with those influences and everything to do with relationship, right? We all know people love to buy from those they know, like, and trust, right? It's a relationship. You're all in that relationship business. So let's look at how do I nourish my network of relationships to be more effective. So let's look at a few things. If you're in the people business, we want to look at the conversation of what are the needs that people have. Universally, regardless of age, of ethnicity, of gender, of where you live, socioeconomic, human beings have some similar core needs. They want to feel heard. They want to feel important. They want to feel respected. They want to feel significant and valued. So when you truly say, I am building a thriving business, you're building a people business and cultivating those attributes of helping other humans in your presence feel those things. I love it's been best said that your business card is how you make other people feel in your presence. $1 million question for myself and I share with clients is this, is how often do other people feel important in my presence? So as we cultivate first those thoughts around how do I nourish my relationship skills, I also then want you to think about some practical actions, things that you can do to help nourish your network. Thank you cards are a big hit, right? Especially today with how much is digital and digitally based, is are you putting thank you notes out there in people's mailboxes? That's a great way. Remembering someone's birthday or calling just because or sending a gift or a sample of your product is those are valuable deposits into your own network. Remember again, your network equals your net worth. Nourish your network. Nourish those relationships. Help the people in your life currently and the new relationships you're building to feel valued, important, significant, seen, and heard when they're with you. One popular thing to do, or I think pivotal thing, is to give people your presence also when you're with them, right? Ironically, today in the digital world that we live in, most of us are carrying around a little mini computer called a smartphone, and we can be connected to anyone in the world except often versus the person right in front of us. Choose to be more present is another powerful way you can nourish your network. Number 3 is I want you to think about and create for me an action list, what I'd call your relationship list. And I want you to have 2 categories. Now you can take one sheet of paper and go straight down the middle and come up with 15 on one side and 15 on the other, or you can have a full sheet for each one, however you choose to do this. But let's create those relationship lists. Number 1 is your existing relationships. These are family members, friends, sometimes maybe called low-hanging fruit, right? People that you're actively already in relationship with. So sharing products with them or asking questions that might lead them to choose to join the Nature Sunshine lifestyle, choose to build a business with you, is let's look at that existing list. So let's come up with at least 15 people, family or friends, you're already well connected to. The secondary list is the new prospects or the new relationships that you want to be nurturing into your life. Now, these may be people you know lightly. They're more acquaintances, right? Maybe you know them at church or you were friends 20 years ago in high school. Whatever that might look like is to create a list of 15 people you want to get to know better and foster a friendship and a relationship with. If you also are looking for additional ways of relationships, consider joining a networking group in your area, meetup groups, hobbies or different interests that you're involved with, is that can make a difference as well for yourself, is to get out there and meet new people and nourish your existing relationships as well as new potential relationships as well. I encourage you to schedule time every single week to look at those lists and am I actively nourishing them, setting up the lunch or the coffee, tea dates, putting handwritten notes in the mail, setting up appointments, sending maybe a sample of your product, but that you're actively taking relationship time into your schedule so you're seeing the result show up for you. Number 4, a critical sales, enrollment, and overall relationship skill is to ask more and talk less. To be fantastic at your influence with other people is this concept, are you asking more and talking less, or are you talking a lot more and asking very little? If you want to influence anybody, you have to understand them. One of the critical needs in any relationship is to feel heard and understood. I love to say that feeling heard in a relationship is like oxygen to a relationship. And how we help facilitate that is through asking more questions. So whether in your home life with your significant other, your children, your friendships, your new prospects, and in business with your teams and people that you're mentoring, is this foundational principle is truly potent and life-changing for yourself, is choosing to ask more questions. Now there's questions you can ask that are product-based or health-based. Things like, what is your top 3 health goals you're currently working on right now? Where are you feeling the most out of balance? Is your energy where you'd like it to be? What have you tried to help support that or supplement that? Lifestyle questions, or looking at people that maybe want to join the business and grow it as a business. You may want to ask, what are your financial goals? Are you interested in creating some supplemental income? What would you do with that income? How would that make you feel, or what would that do for your family? See, the cool thing about asking these great questions is that you're building a relationship, right? You're showing up as interested. One of my mentors once counseled me, be more focused on being interested than interesting, right? If you want to influence someone, you have to understand them. Keep in mind the simple formula I love to teach, your influence equals your income. So build your influence within your existing relationships. You don't need to have a million friends. You just need to have quality relationships where people feel heard, understood, that they matter to you, that they're valuable to you, and that we show up to ask a lot more and talk less. Tony Robbins once said that the quality of your life is based on the quality of questions you're asking yourself. I think that's true, right? Thinking about the inventory and self-reflection. My Tiffany Peterson-ism to that is that the quality of your bank account is based on the quality of questions you're asking. Choose in to consciously cultivate that skill set where you're going to ask more questions, you're going to seek to understand them, and you're going to choose to listen. Now, here's the thing. Listen with the intent to understand someone versus to share your agenda or sell them or so forth, is that we're wanting to create trust. When you create trust with people and people feel heard, valued, understood, the sale is a natural next step. Absolutely. Where they'll often ask you, I want to sign up, or how do I do this? You don't even have to ask for the business often when we master that skill set. And finally, number 5 is what I love to share. Some of my favorite business or life advice is what's called the 4 SWs. The 4 SWs stand for some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. I truly think that's the best advice I can give you. As you're willing to cultivate relationships and put yourself out there and share about Nature's Sunshine, both from product-based and business building, that the reality is the more that you share, you are going to get more yeses. You also will get some no's. That's part of the life experience. Or at least no for right now. I put a little asterisk that sometimes they just need more time to build the relationship before they're ready to buy. But in truth of that series, some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. For myself, years ago, I got to learn that pivotal life experience where I was brand new to sales and I wasn't great at it. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had passion. I had work ethic. Like many of you, you can probably relate to that. I didn't have the sales skills. And I enrolled a woman into a program of the company that I was working for. And she chose to cancel that program the very next day. And this is before I had any kind of mindset training, and I was quite bummed out about that. I was quite discouraged. And I was telling stories like, I don't know if I'm cut out for this. I don't know, am I going to get this right? You might be telling similar stories. Oh, are they going to show up? Or I hosted a class, no one came. Or this happened or that. Or I signed someone up and then they canceled. Sometimes we hit that adversity. And as I was kind of slumped in my seat there in corporate America, my boss and mentor walked by and he said in his very non-nurturing tone, he said, "What's up with you?" And I paused and shared with him my sale had canceled. But in my most welted voice, it most likely looked like this: my sale canceled. And he grabbed at the time my yellow pad piece of paper on my desk, his pen, and he wrote fast and furious, underlined it even, and pushed it back to me. And guess what it said on that simple piece of paper? So what? That hurt. I was stung. I was offended. I was shaken up. But it was a key life lesson for me, is so what? So what? So someone you share with doesn't say yes, at least right away, or you might face some of that. But how we handle that is key to our success. So I invite you to choose in to remember that 4th SW, that someone is waiting. There is absolutely someone in your life right now, if not multiple someones, who are looking for the products that you have, the health solutions, the financial opportunity, the team, the culture, the thrive of Nature's Sunshine. If you will be courageous and brave to share, to open your mouth, to be a solutions provider. You're not a salesperson, you're a change agent. You're providing solutions for people. Keep in mind, again, no matter what you sell, you're always in the people business, right? The power of relationships is the heartbeat, the thrive of your success here with your Nature's Sunshine business. I invite you to remind yourself of that you show up to serve, you're a solutions provider, that you nourish your network, you show up to add value and help other people feel important in your presence, that you do your part to create your relationship list, both new and existing, and spend time nurturing them on a regular basis. Number 4, that we cultivate that relationship skill to ask more questions and talk less, to be more influential at serving and meeting the needs of other people. And finally, that we're persistent, right? Some will, some won't. So what? Someone's waiting. We are thrilled to see you to continue to grow in your own path to prosperity. We cheer you on. We have your back, and we'll look forward to seeing your success continue to grow as well.
All right, someone's waiting. Let's find out who's waiting.